Okay, all right, we're about to start.
Hello.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to today's webinar. This is an official On-Passive webinar, and with Globally Changing Lives Deep Dive. Today is Thursday, April 6, 2023. We are very honored to have you with us, and we look forward to celebrating today's webinar and sharing a lot of things with each and every one of you. So we're starting officially at this stage with our signature tune. Over to you, Dr. Derek. Thank you.
On-Passive.
To win it.
On Passive, the future of internet.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Wow, wow. The future of internet is on passive. Are we not honored to be part of that? Thank you so much, Dr. Derek. Those images are outstanding. I didn't know what you're going to come up with today, so I try not to say anything about them before you play the song. So every week is something very unique. Thank you. All right, we're going to hear about the mindset. So the offer that our CEO gives us is the physical, and we are working on our own for the mental. And the speaker for today is one and only our sister, Queen Jackie. I know most of us know her, but we have some people who might not have known about her background, that she's an inspirational speaker and an entrepreneur of perfumes, cosmetics, and food supplements. She is a mother of 5 and a grandmother of 8. And as an inspirational speaker, her slogan is believe in your dream. And we all have dreams, right? She's also the host of Real Talk, which is streamed live on Facebook. Please let us welcome our inspirational speaker for the night, smiling right at us, Queen JW.
Thank you so much, Queen Debbie. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for allowing me to speak on our platform. Also, thanks goes out to Dr. Derek, who's always generous and supporting to us women here on this platform. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I thank all the brand ambassadors, and I hope you're excited because we're about to have a nuclear bomb. You hear me? Oh my gosh, this is so amazing. Sometimes I have to pinch myself to see if it really is happening, if this is really something that's going on, and and we're part of it. So yes, like Queen Debbie said, yes, I am a grandmother and all that good stuff, a motivational speaker and all that good stuff that goes with it. My family is here visiting with me, so I'm very happy and I'm excited also about that because it's nothing like family. And tonight, our topic is what is the wait? Some of us is still in the waiting mode. And I'm not sure what we're waiting for because we have this amazing blueprint, like Mr. Ash Mafara already gave us everything, the physical part of all of the whole plan, of the whole vision. We don't even need to do much in that area at all because it's already have been done for us. So I want to know, what is the wait? Why are we waiting? We don't have no reason to wait because we already know, we already have our mindset in place, hopefully. And when we don't have our mindset in place, then we need to find out what is preventing us from taking action. So that means you need to stop. If we're not taking any action, we need to stop and figure out why we're not taking action. What's holding us back? What is there fear? Is there doubt still in the minds of many of us? Why we're not taking action? Even to my surprise, I'm hearing that like there's hundreds still not have switched over to the EOS system. Why? They're lost somewhere? I'm not sure. So tonight is about what we need to do, what actions we need to take. And the first thing we need to do is to recognize what is holding us back. And when we find out what's holding us back, then we can reframe it. We have the opportunity to reframe whatever is holding us back. Oh, I'm not sure what's going on, but something is going on. Whiteboard.
Linval.
Okay. So we need to
Sorry.
find out what, that's okay. Find out what is holding us back, reframe it, and then start working towards getting it to be activated so we know exactly what we're doing. You know, I see you all talk about some things that he would like us to do. You know, that question was asked, you know, and he was saying as a founder, there's things that he would like us, you know, if he was a founder, things that he will be doing. So I'm going to talk about some of those things that Ash Mafara talked about in preparing ourselves for the blueprint that's already there for us. We know everything because every step of the way we was informed. And if you stay engaged, that's how you are informed. That's how you are able to make the moves, the necessary moves that we need to make. And also when you attend webinars, you get to learn, especially this platform here and Dream Team. These two platforms and several others, but these two platforms mainly prepare us for every step of the way if we only attend, and not only attend, but implement. So it's good to attend the webinars, but also to implement the things that we learn. And that's what's going to help you to take action. And you wouldn't be in the waiting mode because there's nothing to wait for anymore. Everything is laid on the table. The curtains is about to be open and everything is going to appear. It's going to be like a domino effect. And so our CEO, our brother, and our friend, Ash Mafara, even give us tips. He didn't have to. He doesn't give us everything already. It's just like the biblical word. God has given us everything, and yet we act like we're defeated. We don't have no backup. This is it. I can't go any further. And here comes a train full of hope, full of opportunities. Again, for us to dream again for us to be alive and have the opportunity now to think and elevate our minds and change our mindset and be now, because you know what? We're not only ambassadors or founders, we are business owners. And that's why we got to have that mindset, you know, because we're business owners. We're not just going to the, you know, we're not just the security guard on the block or the clerk at the cash at the supermarket. No, we're bigger than that. Mr. Mafara allowed us or gave us the opportunity to start at the top. And we had so many tops. You're not starting from the bottom. You don't have to climb the ladder of success. We are already successful if you really look at it, because everything is already laid out for us. I mean, who will do that for us besides our Heavenly Father that gave us everything? Now we have the great opportunity to be in the presence of this amazing opportunity. And Mr. Ash Mafara is so gracious to even give us tips on how to do so. And I got like, you know, he said, preparing yourself, number one. Having enough funds. You know what is about to take place. He don't want you to buy one product. He wants you, you know, we were singing that song, in it to win it. Well, now we have the opportunity to prove, are we really in it to win it? Because it's about to go down. You hear me? It's about to really go down. And he wants you to be able to get all the products, because you don't want to have an online shop. And when the customers come, that will be sent to your website. You didn't have to go outside and hunt for them. He don't even want you to be calling people and bothering them. He said that's no class. That just defeats the purpose of what this business is all about. Okay, so all that is being done for us. We don't have to worry about that part of life. All we have to do, let's prepare ourselves. Make sure you have your funds. Some of us was with this company for 4 years. Some of us just say 6 months. Even some of us are even less, but it doesn't matter where we at. We have enough time to prepare ourselves to some extent. And even if you don't have all the funds, at least make sure you have funds to get a paid product. Because even if you start with one, you're still successful because you're going to build off of that and buy more products. And that's why he said, don't miss a webinar. It is so important to hear from the horse's mouth exactly what is going down, what is to be and what is not to be. So that's why it's so important. A lot of us have taken this amazing opportunity for granted. And now the curtains is about to open. And a lot of things still is not in place on our behalf. Not on Mr. Mufarrak's behalf, not on the Omedia team, not on the Techie Techs engineers in Hyperdat, what I mean, or Dr. Kamal in Dubai. No, they all got it together. And we have to be so grateful that someone is allowing us to be part of their dream, part of their vision. And we really got to get ourselves together. Equip yourself. You got a spot in your home, make a little area for your home office. You know what I did? I knew this was taking place. I got a printer, and it's still some things I need to get together. I make sure I got me a desk, and I'm getting myself ready. And you got to empower yourself. Wherever you're weak, where you're weak at, gain strength in those areas. You know your weakness, work on your weaknesses. You don't have to work on strength when you already got it. But the weaknesses that you have, let me work on them. Let me build those so they can become strengths. And then you can help others. Because if we are not able to help ourselves, how can we go out there and say we're helping you? How can we help Mr. Ash Mufarrak? Tell me, somebody tell me. Okay. So the next thing he's saying, learning. You can learn from the blogs. On Passive have so much. On passive.com have so much that we can learn from. We have to learn from our products from day one. It was saying, familiarize yourself with the products. When the OES system opened, familiarize yourself, utilize the system, get savvy with it. This is the first time for all of us, so we can get savvy with it, even if we don't know. You know, I hear Marty always saying, even a 90-year grandmother can do this. If a 90-year-old grandmother can do it, we can do it also. We just got to be focused and take the time, set a schedule so we can follow. You can start out with, 5 habits, and those 5 habits can increase. You can become perfect at them. And then you could add another 5, because once you inspire yourself and motivate yourself, that's why Ash talk about self-motivation. It's a lot of things our CEO, our brother, and our friend, Mr. Ash Mufarrak, spoke to us and helped us along the way, giving us tips. He is the best example. And don't talk about the team, because they're following the example they're seeing. Lead by example. And we have no reason not to be excellent at this. Okay? He talked about, spending time on the YouTube. A lot of people said, well, I don't have time to get on the webinars. And so what? Because you know what? They have all of them right there. You can, like Ash said, he don't look at all of them, but he takes whatever the topic is, he goes through it, he picks out what's important to him, what touches his spirit, and he moves on to the next. So we don't have no reason to say, you know what, I wasn't able to get on the webinar. Because you know what? You go to YouTube, they're all there. So you have no reason. If you make that's an excuse that you need to throw away completely. The next thing, you have a daily agenda of your vision and your views. Have a daily agenda. Set up a schedule that you can follow. Well, this is what I'm going to do this morning, and this is what I'm going to do at 10 o'clock. This is what I'm going to do at 11. This is what I'm going to do at 12. Even if you mess up and you don't get it all right the first time, is the fact that you even start to make the intentions of doing it. This is what I got to do. And you keep on doing it. And it gets becoming easier because this is what you're messing with. You're telling the brain, you're reframing it, you're retraining the brain on how you want things to be done. And so forth. And then that executive part of your brain, or the CEO, the frontal cortex, will start doing all the things that you want to become an achiever. You know, they talk about changing from a goal setter to a goal achiever. You know, so we set goals, but we got to achieve them also. So, you know, it's a two-way street. It's not a one-way. And then it talks about enjoying every day, having fun with it. You see, like, you know, Dr. Derek comment, we do our webinars, but you know what? We got an after party. So there's a balance. It's not only learning. Then you would say, well, I don't want to go on that webinar. You know, we're really not having fun. But on this webinar, we always have fun, even Dream Team. They always make sure there's fun thereafter. So it's not only about learning. So there's a balance, and it makes us feel good at the end of the day. We get to learn and we get to have fun. And there, it's a perfect ending. Also, don't bug other people about this on Passive and the products. It's not about marketing or selling. It's about sharing, you know, and you do that everywhere you go. When you go to the supermarket, you know, there's some great things coming out. Can I have your email address so when I get my link, I'll send you out so you can take a look? Simple as that. It doesn't matter, like our CEO says, it doesn't matter if they look today, next month, next year. Once they become a member, they are your customers forever, even if they buy or they don't buy. And somewhere down the line, because we know what we got, they're going to become resellers. I can bet, I can say that about 100% because my CEO showed me that he had confidence in what he does. And a matter of fact, he has a team that believes in him also, and they see the vision. And we have to see the vision just like the team, because we are his rock, he said. We are his supporters. We what makes him tick. He loves us. He cares for each and every one of us. And he wants to see all of us to be successful. Understanding the value of what we have, of what you hold in your hand. And you know, and most of us on this call know the value that we hold. It's not a secret. Everything is transparent. Even the things he shouldn't share with us, he shared with us at times because he's so full of excitement. You can see like he's ready. All the excitement is ready to bust out of his skin. That's how happy he is of the journey and where we at today. A company just starting out. This is not a company that's been existing. And look at all the excitement. Look at all the people that wants to be part of OnPassive that we don't even know about. And all the branding and all the people that have already joined OnPassive. That he's going to share with all the founders. Oh man, you got to be excited. You got to have a main plan. You got to be in 100%, he said. Don't skip no products. He said, play all the products day and night. You got to be in OnPassive. And I hear Dr. Benny, and I hear Dr. Patience, and I hear Dr. Derek and Queen Debbie just saying, you know, we sleep and breathe OnPassive. So Dr. Benny is the lady of OnPassive. So you know, and they're jumping from one webinar, and you hear them talking about how they see this one on this webinar. I saw you over there, and here you is over here. It's because they are engaged. And all of us need to be engaged, because OnPassive is the only business that we will ever need. And we was told that from the very beginning. I didn't start it 3-4 years ago, but I'm still so excited because I know all the other time, all the marketing and sales and all this that I've been in, Herbalife, Are you real estate? I was in them. I put a lot of money out, but I was very always cautious. So they didn't get me as bad as they might have gotten others. But still, I was out there looking. And now we found something that can change our lives, and not only our lives, the lives of our family, the lives of our friends. Come on, don't take it for granted. Start taking action. Start taking action. I have a quote about this guy by John Ruskin, and he says, what we think or what we know or what we believe in is in the end of little consequences. The only consequences is what we do. So if we do nothing, you know, I heard, was it Marty? I think it was Chris Johnson talking about unpack. No, it was Mr. Ellis. He said unpassive is not about being passive. It's not a passive company. What make you think that yes, they said you don't have to do much. Yes, you don't have to do the physical, but you got to do the mental. You know, you need to have your account set up. We spoke about that. Okay. You need to know how you're going to transfer your money from your wallet to your account, what account you're going to use. You don't have to go out there and set up a business account, but it's good to know these things. When he's talking about learning, you don't have to learn only from Unpassive, but there's so many other programs like Mrs. T. Ford. She had the Step Up program, and I learned so much for those little 8 weeks. You know, at the end to graduate, I had to do a business plan, but I learned different structures of business, different terms of business. Even though Mr. Paul had briefed us already on some of those things, but it was nice to go in and speak with representatives that took their time to come and teach us about things that we don't know as business owners. And all of us need to know that because we're going to be business owners. So it really was a pleasure and a privilege, you know, to learn some of these things, because maybe some of us, like Mr. Vital is talking about projects, maybe he might need a grant, a 503c grant. You never know. You need to know if you need a LLC, what would be the difference? You need to know if the bank that you're going to, should I use the bank or should I get a credit union? You need to know about your credit report and start getting your reports in. You know, Queen Miriam even brought some of that stuff telling us to get an EIN number because we're going to need all these things. So instead of what is the wait? What are we waiting for? There's nothing to wait for anymore. Everything is laid on the table for us. We need to do our part. And that's what Ash been drumming in our heads from the time, because he know his part. Like he said, everything is done. Everything is done. It's just the United States this thing needs to say pop, pop, pop. All the other places are already popping. Okay? So don't think he just beginning. He already got started. 2 years ago, he said, oh, this was launched already. But it just hasn't been launched in the United States. So don't think these things ain't already working. Get your mind in the state where we start taking action. We need to take action. He talked about developing your YouTube channels. You see how many people start doing their YouTube channels? Let's start doing all these things that we need to do because it's going to help us. People need to get comfortable with us. Before people need to know about a product, they need to know about the person. So they need to be comfortable. Then you need to be showing your face. You need to be talking about your products. These are amazing products that you know is amazing for yourself. You hear the engineer might talk about it, and different engineers. You hear Dr. Ellis, you hear, oh my God, all these highly educated, qualified people that we are surrounded by, that we don't need to go anywhere to get any information. It's all here for us. So let's take action. Let's don't do any more waiting because the waiting period is over. I thank you for your listening ears. I thank you that the fact that you're here tonight, that you know that all of us, including myself, need to take action. Because I'm not no better than anyone else. And I'm not trying to say I'm better than anyone else, but we all is in this together. And if we can help each other along the way, that's what we're supposed to do. Because if we're going to uplift humanity, we need to uplift each other first. And it's no more playing, it's no more game. It's a done deal. It's a do die. You have to have that do die mentality. That's the way you have to look at it. You have to get like this, like our CEO, do or die. I gotta do this. I gotta do this. This is it for me. This is it for me. I don't know about you, but I know this is it for me. So I have to have the do die mentality. So I thank you again. I thank you, Queen Debbie. I thank you, Dr. Derek. I thank you, all the AM ambassadors that loaned me their listening ear this evening. And let's have an awesome webinar. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Queen JW. You know, you need to go to those classes again because we were not even expecting this. You have gone from outstanding to exceptionally outstanding. Thank you so much. Yes, I agree with you. We are not just our CEO's rock, but we should prevent and stop sharing or outpouring out any negativity. Let's positivity be our daily bread with this where we are. Anyone who shares anything negatively, stay out of their way. Let's be within our comfort zone. Always be positive. Positive vibes around us. That's the way to go. Thank you so much, Queen JW. We appreciate you. Thank you once more. That's very outstanding. Now, you saw in our flyer that we're having today 2 special speakers to talk about shelters for abused women and children. Because they are a man and a woman, and it has nothing to do with the order in which they place, we always say, ladies before gentlemen. So I will start with Queen Anne-Marie, and her full names are Anne-Marie Ricketts. For those of us who did not know her, I think this is the first time I personally am meeting her. Welcome to you, Queen Anne-Marie. You have been with us. You are a brand ambassador, but you're presenting to us for the first time, and I'm seeing you and welcoming you officially on Deep Dive personally for the first time. Welcome, we love you. And who is she? She's an executive director and founder. And she is a single mother raised in Toronto, Canada. So we have other Canadians in the house as well. And after experiencing a series of personal hardships that left her unable to work and worried about her future, her family's future, she came up with the idea to organize an award show for single mothers. Isn't that being creative? That's awesome. Who had achieved great things. And from that, guess what? It turned out into Single Women in Motherhood training program, which she has. Can you duck so we can see what's behind you? Swim, is that it? Oh, there we go. Thank you. Thank you. That's lovely. That's lovely. And you started in your living room. Wow, that's amazing.
Yes.
Wow. So Queen Anne-Marie is an incredible asset to us. To the swim, because she has helped it to grow and prosper.
You're muted.
Oh, I muted myself. My apologies. So Queen Anne-Marie is a certified life. Where did I end? Before I muted myself.
Right there.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Queen Anne-Marie. So she's also a certified life coach, motivational speaker, and facilitator of personality dimensions. She spent over 20 years providing support to single mothers in the London community. In 2012, She was awarded the Queen Elizabeth II Diamond Jubilee Medal for her significant contributions to social service. In addition to running her own business called Sweet Life Coaching, she created Strong Mothers Achieving Remarkable Triumph. So you're a doubler. Besides what you have, you also have SMART. And that is a scholarship that provides academic scholarships to single moms who wish to pursue further education. In July of 2022, Queen Anne-Marie was honored with the Veronica Drayden Women of Distinction Award, and in November of the same year, she received the Black Excellence Award. Most recently, during the month of International Women's Celebration, which is March of last year, Queen Anne-Marie was presented with the prestigious Platinum Jubilee Award from Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, recognizing her outstanding public service and contributions to building communities of hope for single moms. Her dream and vision is to establish SWIM's chapter around the world. Her dedication to her cause and tireless efforts made a significant impact on the lives of single mothers in the London community. Queen Anne-Marie continues to inspire and uplift those around her, and is a shining example of the difference that one person can make in the world. We are extremely honored to have Queen Anne-Marie with us today, and she's going to be our first of two speakers. And please let us give us a warm welcome to Deep Dive as she shares her experience with us. The microphone is yours, Queen Anne-Marie.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much for that warm welcome. Queen Debbie, it's an honor to be here tonight, basically just to share a little bit of what we've been doing in the community. And our King Patel has a great vision, which is really up our alley. And I have been blessed to be working beside him and to help to see this vision unfold in front of us. Single Women in Motherhood Training Program. Yes, it did start on my living room floor 20 years ago. 2022 was our 20th year anniversary. We do know that mothers are a gem. We have children, and the children that we raise depends on who we are as people, as a person. And there's lots of things in the community to support family, mothers, fathers, but nothing really designed specially for single mom, which is a very unique area. In the past, single moms have had a big stigmatization. It's been a thing in the past, like if you were a single mom, people used to look down on you. In these days, women are choosing to be single moms. What we at our agency do is focus on the moms and provide programs. And the first program we started was a Let's Talk About It, where moms can get together and sit and share their journeys together. In that session, there was a lot of information exchange, and that happens. So if a mom is experiencing something, or she might be going through a divorce or child custody battle, don't know where to start, a woman that have already been down that road can share and explain to her, this is where I went, this is what I did, and this is who helped me through my journey. So a lot of information exchange happens there. A lot of friendship is developed through that group. And people are there to support each other, so you know you're not alone. It doesn't matter where you're from, what culture, what's your background. It doesn't matter. If you're a single mom, you're welcome. A lot of moms come, they get their strength, they go out in the world, they come back. If they have a low, if they dip again, they know there's somewhere for them to go. We have several programs that we do offer. We have the Child Care Exchange program for moms just to have some me time, to go have coffee with a friend, go sit down, have a bubble bath, do things that you don't normally get to do because your kids are around your feet, hanging on for dear life. We also have the Little Fish program for those who do not have childcare, but they might have a job interview or a doctor's appointment and they need to focus. That's, as a member, you can contact us in advance, book the time, we take care of the child while you go take care of business. We have another program, which is the life coaching program. And the difference with the life coaching program compared to counseling is that when you have a problem and you sit with your counselor and you share where you're at, the counselor usually tell you what you need to do. But with the life coach, we basically help you to figure out what you need to do to get to where you need to be. Sometimes it's just a matter of sitting down with somebody and brainstorming with them and, having them put it all on paper to realize it's not as bad as they think it is, because you can break things down and take things one step at a time. We also have the community agent. The community agent was created for moms who don't have the support family members close by. They're going through some challenges. They either have court, they have something important to do, but they have no one to go with. Well, as a member with Single Women in Motherhood, you can request to have a community agent that goes out with you, sit with you in your appointment, take notes, because sometimes when we're getting information overload, we get overwhelmed. Half of the time, we don't even remember what we heard throughout the day. Those are some of the programs that we have offered, and we still continue to offer it. Sorry, my throat got dry there for a second. We're here strictly to empower the moms. A lot of moms, they think they're ready half of the time. Sometimes they're forced to run out, get an education. Sometimes that education is not what they want to do. It doesn't bring happiness to them. And they're stuck in a job that they feel they cannot get out of. Or, sometimes it's just a matter of, looking into yourself, building inside, finding tools that work and having people, the right people around you, surround you and connect with you. It is an interesting journey. It is it's a very niche area. It doesn't matter what the background, as some of us know, till this day, some cultures shun anyone or any woman that divorces their husband or break up from the family, and the community will not have nothing to do with them. So they're out in the world all by themselves. This is still happening now. Women, is regaining their voice to stand up for themselves, and that's why we're here. Most single moms don't need a hand up. They just need a helping hand up, and just to know that somebody's behind them to push them to say, when you're falling, we're there. We've got you. You're not alone. So basically, that's what SWIM stands for. And we're working tirelessly to continue to ensure that mothers are happy. We also have a social enterprise that is just getting up and on its way called MIC, Mothers in Cleaning. It's an online cleaning company. What it is, I created it so that single moms can be of service to seniors in their home, or students use the service, or regular family use the service. It is there for women to create their own dynamics so they can work their personal life around work and not work around their personal life. So it's an online cleaning company. If a homeowner wants a cleaner, they go online, they see who is on the roster, they pick who they want, they book it right there, they get the message to know that they have an appointment, they go out in the community, and it's done. It's for women who wants to make extra cash to help support their family around, and they could schedule it around their time. We also have the Smart Scholarship, where we honor single moms who wants to go back to school. And we've been lucky to have been honoring at least 3 moms every year that is returning to school. One of the things that we do help and encourage them to use the money for is childcare for those late classes or those unexpected nights. And I also encourage them, take most of your money, put it towards a cleaner. Someone comes in your home, clean your home. You don't have to worry about the extra work. You could relax, focus on your education. And a lot of the moms come back and explain and share that that's what they did with their money and how much of a difference it makes when they were studying. I've gone with women. I've helped 5 moms to get their children back from the government in care and bring their family back together. So those are the work we're out there doing, supporting the single moms in our community. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Queen Anne. I was just writing in the chat saying my hat off to you in terms of taking care and doing all those things for a single mom, because they all need what you just listed. And hopefully one of these days you can extend that to seniors, because seniors are also like single moms, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and some of them are by themselves.
A lot of them.
Absolutely, and practically will need that. And the single moms, what you're doing for them and what you created with your scholarship system, it empowers them to be able to continue to do what they do best, which is taking care of the children and taking care of themselves. And those children will become very empowered because they know that their moms care for them. We appreciate you sharing that with us today, and we hope you're going to come more often. And please don't run away after, so we can get Brother Vital to speak, and then we'll go to questions and answer discussion session, so you can help those who might need some clarifications with your presentation. Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, our next presenter is King Brother Vital Smart. Yeah, we all know him, but there's some people who do not know him. He has quite a handful of a background, but if you do not mind, I can share a little bit so we get to know who is sharing with us today, just in case we have some newbies in the forum today who do not know who he is. And to start off, we'll say King Vital is a Jamaican who currently resides in Florida and has a degree from Fordham University Graduate School of Social Work and a bachelor's from Iona University and a teaching certificate from Eco University College, Jamaica, and a teaching certificate from University of the West Indies, Jamaica. He's from a family of 14, 7 boys and 7 girls. He's a married man and a father of 3, 2 boys and 1 girl, and 4 grandchildren. Brother Vital has 35 years experience and expertise in the areas of business ownership, management, sales, marketing, branding, patenting, private labeling, consulting, and pioneering. And he has even more. I don't want to take his presentation by saying all the accolades about him because we know who he is. I'll just say, King Vital, do what you do best by sharing with us. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, Queen Debbie. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Anne-Marie, welcome. Welcome to all the brand ambassadors, wherever you are. Thanks to Dr. Derek for inviting us to be on the forum. And at first, Anne-Marie and I first met when she made a presentation on Noblesse, and I said, wow, this lady sounds just like my mom. and so caring, so loving. And so we went back and I did a presentation on about setting up some shelters for battered women in Jamaica. And then I asked her to join me in this effort, and she was graceful enough to accept. And so we're here working together as tag team partners. She's from Canada. I'm from the United States, living right now, but we have some projects that we think can fit into anywhere in the world, any country in the world. And so for us, this is just a continuation of International Women's Month, because for us, every month is Women's Month, and we don't falter about that. You know, we don't waver about it. Every month for us is Women's Month, and so we're here. I'm talking about the shelters. This is the physical aspect of it. And Anne-Marie is going to provides the psychological aspect of it with her life coaching experiences. And so tonight, I'm going to be sharing some information with you. Last night I did it on a different forum. And this time I'm going to warn you, there are some videos that you may need to give you some time now to get your Kleenex ready. Because it can be emotional. Some of them are emotional. So get out your popcorn and your Kleenex ready and sit and relax. Sit back, relax as I share my screen. Okay. Okay, are you seeing me now?
Yes, we see your screen. Just got to put it in the mode.
Okay. All right, let me.
You're good.
You got it.
You're good.
Sorry there, sorry. I gotta add some sound to it. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Got in trouble the last time with my sound. It's not gonna happen this time, I'll tell you that. I'm not seeing the sound bar.
Don't you have to select the sound before you
Yeah,
start playing?
yeah, I gotta get the sound going because the last time I had issues with the sound. So I got to set that up when I share, right after I share.
Mm-hmm.
I did it so well last night.
Dr. Derek? Because I remember last time he helped you with that as well.
Yeah. All right. Let me go again. Let me share screen. All right, so and the sound is there now. All right, so I'm gonna ba-ba-ba-da. Anyway, let me start. If I have an issue with the sound, I'll come back to it. So I'm here to talk about how to lift up humanity. And I've been working along with our friend in Chris Johnson over there in Noblesse. And we're here to talk about lifting up Jamaica and the world in terms of setting up the projects for battered women all over the world. And so we work in conjunction with Obless. And we're here to lift up humanity. And so we must first take the proactive step to protect and preserve our women and children. And so this is a copy of the project that was presented and accepted. And I'll go through it step by step. But let's talk about the word love God. Because before we can give, we got to love, and we have to be godly. And so we talk about love in all we do. Love must first set the pace. Courage, try to keep trying until you achieve your goals. And responsibility, initiative first. Do it now, it pays off in results. It's determination in action. Responsibility, doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do. And your belief in your unique and talented self. And if you do that, you are definitely a winner. And so my call to action story is this. I was blessed to have 7 sisters in my family, 7 girls, 7 boys, as was told up front by Queen Debbie. And I was always, growing up, we were always protective of our sisters, me and my brothers. You know, we're always protective of them, no matter what. My mom brought us up that way. And even in school, you know, if you touch any of our sisters, there's going to be a verbal or a physical warfare. But our sisters, you know, you dare to not touch them. And so we are protective of them. And one day I got a call from a young lady in Jamaica telling me how she was being abused by our spouse. And the story was so sad, very sad. She was calling from a neighbor's house and swear that she would never go back to her husband, swear she rather die or find some other place to go. And so suddenly it came to me, and what if this was my sister? Or what if this was my mom? Or what if this was my daughter? Or what if this was my granddaughters? What would I do? And so I decided, look, as a call to action, I was going to move forward to set up some real professional shelters for abused and battered women and children in Jamaica. And so I put a proposal together and presented to Obles, and it was accepted. And so I'm here to share it with you. And here's some information I would like to bring to your attention here.
So I start with Britain. We have a problem with violence against women and girls. A few years earlier, on a visit to the Pacific island of Papua New Guinea, I spent time at a refuge which had been opened by a lady who was severely abused by her then husband. House Ruth, as it was known, in Port Moresby, had many women who had married according to tradition, and yet, contrary to all Papuan norms, they had been subjected to unspeakable torture. That experience tells me that gender-based violence is present in communities that have norms that espouse communal values. In the Pacific, what is known as one top, where everybody looks after each other, is the way in which the communities say that they care for their.
We're not seeing it.
This violence.
You're not seeing it?
Now here in Jamaica, Ambassador Alun.
No, we're not seeing it. We're seeing you.
Personal experience.
You're not seeing the video?
Abuse. And those who.
No, sir.
I see a formidable person.
All right, hold a second.
And yet she carried.
Hold a second there. You seen it now?
Not yet.
Vitel,
You're not sharing.
you're not sharing your screen.
All right, hold a second. Hold a second there. You seen it now?
You are not sharing your screen. You need to share your screen first before you fool around with video. Share your screen in Zoom. You're not sharing your screen in Zoom.
Look at the bottom of the screen, you see share. And
Yeah,
then you put
I
your thing at this thing and slide it around. There you go.
Mhm.
There you go.
You see me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So I start with Britain. We have
You understand?
Yes. And put it in picture mode.
a problem with violence against women and girls. A few years earlier, on a visit to the Pacific island of Papua New Guinea, I spent time at a refuge which had been opened by a lady who was severely abused by her then husband. House Ruth, as it was known, in Port Moresby, had many women who had married according to tradition, and yet, contrary to all Papuan norms, they had been subjected to unspeakable torture. That experience tells me that gender-based violence is present in communities that have norms that espouse communal values. In the Pacific, what is known as Wantok, where everybody looks after each other, is a way in which the communities say that they care for each other, but there, in the heart of that community, we have this violence. Now, here in Jamaica, Ambassador Alun Asamba has openly talked about her personal experience of spousal abuse. And those who know her will see what I see, a formidable person of accomplishment, and yet she carried the legacy of abuse. She endured years of violence from her ex-husband, driven by unwarranted jealousy. And today, she exudes self-confidence and the joy of life. Now, Ambassador Alun's story tells us that violence is not a matter of social standing or wealth. There are cases of people who wear the cloak of religion and carry out acts of pure evil. There are many cases where pastors have been convicted of violent crimes against their spouses, and sometimes spouses have kept quiet, ignoring what is in plain sight. Studies have shown that the cycle of violence is self-perpetuated. Victims of violence can become perpetrators themselves, or at least aiders and abettors of violence. And so many victims fall into the trap of blaming themselves for the actions of others. A vulnerable person will excuse violence and stand by their partners. They say the man was under pressure at work. They say he's only violent when he's drunk. The simple truth is that whether the provocation is children, what's going on outside, violence against a person, male or female, is plainly wrong. Today we are supported by courageous and dedicated women who are prepared to speak out and take action. You have our support and that of the international community. International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women and Girls is being supported here in Jamaica by the United Nations, and diplomatic missions from India, Canada, Europe, and the United States have added their voice to ours. Now, much of the UK's work in Jamaica addresses violence prevention, and within that we have a special focus on the impact on women and girls. Throughout the world, particularly during this COVID pandemic, we've seen a spike in gender-based violence. And in Jamaica, we diverted some funds for general COVID mitigation. We set aside some of that to target specifically the impact on women and girls. I'm sure that in our conversation today, we will gain further insights on the challenges that women and girls face. We will also hear about how dedicated people are helping victims of violence. And I can tell you already that this event has made an impact before we've even started. Because as people were hearing about the event today, as they were signing up, a few ladies came forward to us saying that they were suffering from abuse now. Each of them are now in touch with people who are going to be able to help them and find a way out of a life of violence. So if anybody is listening today and is in an abusive situation, this is your opportunity to reach out, and we will ensure that help gets to you. Together, we will make a difference to our lives and the lives of our sisters, mothers, friends. That is our pledge, and that is our commitment. I thank you.
Yes, so that was the British High Commissioner in Jamaica, and he was talking about some kind of a conference that is set up there to deal with violence against women and children. The video is much longer than that, but I cut it in half so that I can move on to others, because that was his opening address. So let me share with you another video where the kids in Jamaica took to the street in search of help. Listen to this one.
Give me a P. P. I got a out in black in downtown Kingston and halfway through St. Andrew on Friday, September 28th to protest against the recent incidents of sexual violence against women and children. Government ministers, opposition representatives, and members of civil society groups were among those demonstrating. The organized action came 4 days after 5 females, including an 80-year-old, were raped. In another incident, an 11-year-old girl was hospitalized after allegedly being impregnated by her granduncle.
This is not a pleasant time for any of us who are mothers and who are Jamaicans. Children make up 33% of our population, a little under 900,000. The crimes that we're denouncing this morning, the one that has taken place in St. James, in St. Anne, are just 2 of the highlighted ones that we know of. Just this week, many of you might not be clear, but we've also had girls who are on their way back to children's homes who were raped on their way home from school. We also have children at hospitals, when I visited, who are there on wards because of abuse from their relatives. This is not a good time.
Yeah, but among seeing
Give me a P. P. You gotta P. Give me a E. E. You gotta E. You gotta E. Give me a A. A. You gotta A. Give me a C. C. You gotta C. You gotta C. Give me a E. E. You gotta E. You gotta E.
Jamaicans turned out in black in downtown Kingston and halfway through St. Andrew on Friday, September 28th to protest against the recent incidents of sexual violence against women
It's
and
repeating
children.
itself again, Brother
Government
Vital.
ministers, opposition representatives, and members of civil society groups were among those demonstrating. The organized action came 4 days after 5 females, including an 80-year-old, were raped. In another incident, an 11-year-old girl was hospitalized after allegedly being impregnated by her granduncle.
This is not a pleasant time for any of us who are mothers and who are Jamaicans. Children make up 33% of our population, a little under 900,000. The crimes that we're denouncing this morning, the one that has taken place in St. James, in St. Anne, are just 2 of the highlighted ones that we know of. Just this week, many of you might not be clear, but we've also had girls who are on their way back to children's homes who were raped on their way home from school. We also have children at hospitals, when I visited, who are there on wards because of abuse from their relatives. This is not a good time for our country because it symbolizes that our children are under attack. So we're calling on the nation at this time to report. We're asking children, we're going into communities, and we will not stop our efforts until child abuse and sexual abuse is stamped out of this country.
When I think, just each and every one of you, just think of that 8-year-old child. Just think of it. I'm asking every man and every woman to just think, 8 years old? And there are situations where there have been younger kids who have been savaged and their privacy invaded. Today, we unite. JLP, PNP, government opposition, no P. No P. Everybody. We unite. Symbols are important, and sometimes I say to myself, symbols. We do this, we've done there, we've been there, we've done that. But today is the beginning of us stopping, been there, done that. From today on, we must get tangible results. I have a commitment through Minister Faulkner and through efforts that are being made by Minister Hannah. It has been a journey. Every administration has done something, but have not done enough. Things have taken too long. And now, as a force together, we are going to make it happen. I want to see everybody's hand, man, woman, and child.
Now, let's look at another one. And this one is a lady who has been attacked by a monster. Take a look at this one. Lady right here in the United States.
I'm 30. I have 3 little girls. I was with Chase for 6 years on and off, more on than off. He said, I'll make it to where you have nowhere to go, and he did. And that's like, everybody wants to say, why didn't you leave? Why couldn't you get out? He made me feel like nobody loved me but him. I remember it all. And I didn't remember it all until I walked in the trailer and seen the blood everywhere. And then it come back to me, every bit of it. He made me sit on the bottom of the steps, right where he was sitting. And I was so scared to death he was gonna kick me in my face. Scared to death. Because that would have really probably knocked me out, which might have been better, but. He made me sit on my hands. And every time I tried to, he would hit me harder. He gets me over into the field, and well, at first I'm walking beside him, and I'm barely walking because I could barely stand up. I was so lightheaded. He's like, you better keep up. You better not fall behind. And I'd fall behind a little bit, and he'd hit me, knock me down. And I knew when I got to the other side of that field what was gonna happen. I was thinking to myself, oh my God, I'm about to die. I'm for real about to die, this is it. And I was coming to terms with it. When I think about it, oh my God, I almost died. And I lived. I don't want anybody else to go through that. That was horrible. I seen a car coming, and I don't know who it was, but I wish to God I could find out and thank them. Because I seen it, and I was like, oh my God, it's the cops. It's the cops, Chase, oh my God. And he fell to the ground face first, laying flat. And I took off running. I ain't never ran so fast in my life. And I don't even know how I did. Because I could barely breathe. I couldn't see. I couldn't even walk straight, but I ran. And I ran literally for my life. And I remember putting my hands on my face. I did like this, and I looked down, and all I seen was blood poured out. You could have took my shirt off and wringed it out in a bucket. It was so covered in blood, and when I did that, I guess from sitting there, my adrenaline had slowed down, and the pain hit me. I felt like somebody had a torch and a hot chisel on my face. I felt like somebody was, it was the most excruciating pain ever in my life that I've ever felt. You can't live, you can get away, and there's always somebody that will take you in, that will do for you, that will help you help yourself. Always, there's people out there that care even when you don't know, they're there. They're there, I promise. You just reach out, don't be scared to reach out. There's not just him, a whole world of people out there care. And I didn't love myself 3 weeks ago, and today I wouldn't. I love myself more than anything in this world. And I'm happy every day that I wake up, and I know that I'm loved because I'm supported by so many people that I didn't even know existed. There's people out there that care.
Hmm. I get stuck here. Wow. Just missing a big time tonight. Mhm.
Are you tired of feeling uncertain about your finances? Do you want to protect?
No. Dr. Derek, I get stuck here, man. Trying to get to the next slide. Hmm. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. I finally solved the problem here. So let's define what domestic violence is all about. It's any abusive, violent, coercive, forceful, or threatening act of word inflicted by one member of a family or a household on another. All of that can constitute domestic violence. How do we recognize domestic violence at the early stage? It puts you down or call you names, stops you from seeing your family or friends, gets angry when drinking alcohol or doing drugs, shows sign of jealousy, accusing you of being unfaithful, tells you what you should wear, where you should go, or how you can spend your money. The abuser said that you cannot visit a healthcare provider. It begins to threaten you with violence and the use of a weapon. It punches, slaps, kicks, chokes you and your children, forces you to have sex and to participate in other sexual activities, try to put blame on you, abuse and threaten you, and all of that stuff. And so this is what happens to begin the process when you start seeing those things in your life. That's what's going on. And so let's look at a perspective from Jamaica. Nearly 15% of all women in Jamaica aged 15 to 49 who have ever married or partnered have experienced physical or sexual violence from a male partner in the previous 12 months, 15%. There are other studies that show there's about 1 in 4 that experience domestic violence. And so when we look at some samples of domestic violence against women in other countries, we look at the USA. 1 in 7 women and 1 in 18 men falls victim to abuse every year. Canada, 44% of women, it's about 6.2 million, reported some form of physical sexual abuse. Great Britain, 6 million women ages 16 to 74 in England and Wales Let's look at Canada. The number of deaths as a result of domestic violence by age and gender, 143 in 2021. Among these was 85% were committed against women. And so let's look at the worldwide. It's about 30% of women worldwide have experienced violence. And the most abusive of them all, they are noted there: Pakistan, Central African Republic, Somalia, Sierra Leone, Chad, Democratic Republic of Congo, South Sudan, Ethiopia. These are some of the worst countries in the world that abuse women. So against that backdrop, I created a mission. The mission is, how do we help these women to avoid these monsters and even to minimize? I don't think we can ever wipe it out, but just to minimize abuse. And so our mission is to design and develop physical structures and humanitarian programs to eradicate or minimize the chronic problems of abuse among women and children on a global scale. And so our vision is that when our program are fully implemented, individuals in our targeted group shall be rescued from their abusive environment, shall suffer from less abuse, be given the necessary assistance to restore their battered image and self-esteem, and to be reintroduced into society in hopes of living a normal lifestyle. And so these are shelters. What are they? Exactly what are they? They are safe places that women and their children can go to escape danger and violence. A refuge where women can feel safe and know that their batterer can't hurt them there. It can be used in case of emergency and care, and typically open 24 hours a day. And so what are they? What do you get at these shelters? How do you set up to build these shelters? First of all, you got to raise money. Second of all, and these are not in order really, but these are some of the things that need to be done. And we have decided to, number one, to utilize the services of Obless. Because if we're going to move forward in this world, as Mr. Mafari had told us to do, we dare not leave anyone behind, and especially the women. They've been, when we're doing my studies here, looking at these videos and doing all these research, it's horrendous the way they are treated all over the world. So we set out to raise money first. We develop contacts in the community, hire a realtor and source for land, locate a house or buy property. We rent a post office box, and we build it's going to be a real private place where we build a 6-foot wall around the yard to offer privacy. And we also set up security details for total protection. And so some of the services that are offered in these shelters may include housing and meals, educational program, a crisis center, and this is where Anne-Marie would come in with her coaching, support and counseling groups, housing assistance, employment assistance, personal and medical needs, child care, assistance with restraining orders and other legal matters, accompaniment to healthcare and legal appointments, transportation, and addiction services. So these are some of the services that will be offered at this shelter. Now, the prototype that what we propose for Jamaica is like and that premises would be like a piece of property is about 4 acres, 3 to 4 acres. And it's a 10-bedroom and 11 bathrooms. All the rooms are, each bedroom has their own bathroom, living room, computer room where, you know, these women and the children can get on the computer, and maybe we can offer them some assistance through our ANPASSIVE. We can give them free computers. We can teach them how to become resellers, so that they develop more independence when they go back into society. We have dining room, games and TV rooms, kitchen and pantry, storage and security, bus and or a van and a driver, and trained staff. And so all of these are just to rescue these women and give them a life. Some of them come with their kids, and it's going to be a place that is so private, nobody even knows what that building is all about, because it's going to be private. And the staff is going to be properly trained. We have O-Connect. We can train them from a distance, some of us, and some have to be done in person. But everything is going to be done the ANPASSIVE way. Everything is going to be first class, something like Mr. Ash will be proud of. And so to purchase, these are projected about $2 million US in Jamaica per shelter. And these would include a land purchase, security with gates and cameras, furnishings, transportation, and staffing. Okay. And our proposal for Jamaica is like 3 shelters for the island, 1 in each county, 1 in Cornwall, 1 in Middlesex, and the other one in Surrey, 3 shelters. And we build the first one first and test it before we move on to the second, make sure that everything is working fine. And we move on to the next one. So that's how we lift up Jamaica, Africa, and the world, where no woman no cry. No woman no cry, as Bob Marley would say. That's how we lift up humanity, by first caring for our kids, our mothers, our sisters, our daughters. That's how we lift them up. And to all women and children, we love you. God bless you. And I'm sorry for the couple of hitches we have there in the video, but our plan is very comprehensive. We have gotten a green light from Obless when things get moving. And we are, Anne-Marie and myself, we want to take this international and use Jamaica as a stepping stone for the rest of the world. So if there's anybody and the brand ambassadors who would like to join us, you're welcome to join us with this program. We have other things in mind. We're also working on the food for the hunger, and that's another project that we're working on right now to be presented to Obless. And so we're here, to say, women, March is not international. It's only 1 month of the year. For us, every month is International Women's Month. And so on behalf of my mom and my sisters and my granddaughters and all the women brand ambassadors, I first want to apologize all these women in the group. When I first presented this on Obless, it was very emotional. Some women break down and start to cry, and I understand, but these weasels and these monsters that attack you, on behalf of all men, we apologize to you. But we're here to work with you to make sure that, we can prevent this from happening again. It's a long road, but we think we can do it. So we're there beside you, all women. It's not a 1 month thing for us. It's on every month of the year. I thank you very much.
Wow, King Brother Vital. I have never seen a presentation like this. I am speechless, but I have to speak because I was not looking forward to seeing this. I had to pause my video when the Prime Minister was speaking, when the children were protesting, and oh Lord, when that woman was sharing her experience. Sorry, I don't want to get too emotional because I was during your presentation a couple of times trying to just hold it back. We don't wish that on anyone, and I'm glad you're bringing it forth to discussion. So we thank you for bringing that, and as well as Queen Anne-Marie. This is the time for questions and discussions regarding the topic that we've just listened to. And Queen Anne-Marie and Brother Vital are here to answer anything that you have that you observe from the presentations. But before I proceed, I want to call on Dr. Derek and say, Dr. Derek, thank you so much for getting these topics for us, because sometimes we know things are happening, but not everyone is bold and available to bring it to public or even share or talk about it. In some areas, it's considered a taboo. Dr. Derek, thank you so much. We appreciate it. I'll pass it over to you before we move to questions and discussions. Thank you.
Wonderful. Peace, blessings, and enough love to everyone. Thank you very much, Queen Debbie. Really appreciate it. King Vital and Queen Anne-Marie. Really appreciate it. We are all looking at helping to restore humanity. That's the important thing. And so if you are in on passive just to fill your pocket, then that's not the intent of Ashmufari. Ashmufari's intent is to help humanity, help ourselves. And so the more we can come together, work together, and get all of these humanitarian projects off the ground and running, and getting people the help that they need, the right help that they need, without any ulterior motives. That is what we need. So I thank you very much, Queen Anne-Marie and King Vital. Really appreciate the lovely presentation. Back to you, Queen Debbie.
Thank you so much, Dr. Derek. Thank you. This is a very touchy topic today, but when you are an adult, there's nothing that we cannot handle, right? We can do everything and anything. So, okay, come on. You fall down, you wake up and you walk. So let's be upbeat and have a reasonable discussion about presentation. Sorry? Okay. Yes, I do see Queen Violet's hand up. Queen Violet, you proceed, and I'm going to call to Dr. Benny. Oh, okay. Queen Violet, you proceed. Dr. Benny, you still have some time with us? Oh, you're not.
Okay, great. I'm not
Oh,
sure.
I didn't realize you're not co-host. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Okay, so where's Queen Violet? Queen Violet, please unmute yourself. Where is she? Is she available?
Am I unmuted now?
Yes, you are unmuted.
Okay. I have a question that has nothing to do with this. Are we going to get the other half of Tuesday's presentation?
Yes, you are.
Okay, just wondering. The thing is, all these places that you're talking about in Jamaica, do you not need government approval and stuff like that?
Yes, everything needs government approval. Everything needs permits, you know, and this is just at this embryo stage right now. And so, yes, we intend to work with the government to get this done, but right now it's premature to start at the government before we even know what where the funding is coming from and stuff like that.
Good. Okay. That
and don't I'm pointing this one, it was skewed towards Jamaica, but when I start digging into the rest of the world, oh my God, it's terrible. I mean, it's terrible.
Yeah, some places it's part of their culture. The guys think it's part of their culture.
Yes, it's part of their culture. I've come across some really gruesome information that what you see here is nothing. I mean, and we just have to understand what we're up against in non-passive, to how we need to change the world and make it a better place for everybody. And we have our work cut out for us, but the challenge is there. And Mr. Ash, you know, said, listen, we're not going to leave anyone behind. And we're going to take care of the women first.
Okay.
Hello.
That's great. That thank you for
When that time there's no water.
Okay, Innova send without thing.
You don't send them check.
Okay.
Everybody's talking at the same time. Okay, I'll get off. And thank you very much for the presentation. That was very informative, and looking forward to giving you my 2 cents worth.
Thank you very much.
Hopefully it'll be more than 2 cents, but we'll see.
How about 10?
Well, I have a few places in Oshawa here that I want to look after, and you know, it's part of the list. Except you're not at the top of the list. Sorry.
All right.
Queen Violet, you done? Okay, great.
I'm sorry, I'm done.
Oh, no problem. I believe Dr. Tunisha is next. Brand
Thank you.
Ambassador, please unmute yourself. Yes, please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
First of all, King Batel, I commend you for this vision that you have. It's extraordinary. It's extraordinary, and I commend you for that, and God bless you. And I know that it will come to full fruition. I have no doubt in my mind. But I want to say this. In seeing this presentation, I became angry, and I do apologize. This is another side of Dr. T. I became angry because I want to know, and maybe you mentioned this, maybe I missed it in listening, because some parts were not real clear, but maybe I missed it, so I do apologize if it was already mentioned. But my concern, being that I had a chance to visit Africa, Nigeria, I saw a lot of the corruption. I saw how the government allowed different things to take place. I saw how orphan children running around begging. I saw that with my own eye. I didn't read about it. I didn't hear about it. I saw it. I saw how people were so poor and depleted of regular resources that most people didn't even go there. It's called the Street of the Beggars. Anybody that knows about Nigeria, there's a place called the Street of the Beggars, and the cab driver, I remember going there, and the cab driver dropped us off several blocks before we got there. We had to walk the rest of the way. And these people were just living there in their own filth and impoverished and things like that. But it was all a result of the government. So what I'm trying to say to you, King Vital, is that, you know, where you are in Jamaica, the country of Jamaica, I feel like a lot of this goes on because the law and the government, they don't care, because I promise you, you know, how can somebody go through that type of abuse and someone in authority doesn't do anything about it? That's the part that's blowing my mind. I mean, it's like these men should be castrated. Yes, I said that. These men should be castrated for raping a child. They should be thrown underneath a jail cell. But I don't understand why they allow. I mean, I know what you're doing is commendable, but my point is that the people who are doing the abuse, what happens to them? That's the question. What happens to them? They just get away with it? Because there's no one that these women can go to let them know, I've gone through this, and what is the law going to do to help me? What are people in authority going to do to help me? What is the government going to do to help me? Is that how this is how this goes on? That's my concern. You know, you can build your shelter. We all can support it. Bless can support it. But my point is, what is the recourse? What is the consequence of this action? Because there's no way in the world that this kind of activity should go on and there are no consequences. So I'm asking you that question, King Vital. Would you please answer that for me?
Okay. Well, if you're hungry, Dr. Ford, just imagine the hunger that permeates me as I go through and do all this research. And I was angry about Jamaica. And then when I look into what goes on in Pakistan, and when I look at what goes on in Somalia, when I look at what goes on in Sierra Leone and these countries, you know, it makes me even more angry. So it's just Jamaica is just one spot where things are happening, and we got to shine the light on it so that everybody knows what's going on. We got to shine the spotlight on Africa. It happens as I brought out too, it happens in all the developed countries. It happens right here in the United States. You know, it happens in Great Britain, in France. So this is something where when Mr. Mafari said, you know, we got to level the playing field and make the world a better place. So he expects us to clean it up. And the government all over. I always say that these politicians, they all go to the same school, the school of corruption. And so it's difficult to, when you look at this situation, it's difficult to fathom what's going on. But we as brand ambassadors, we have to understand that this is not all about us buying big homes and big cars and living it up. We have a responsibility now to help. And that's what Mr. Mafari talks about. That's why we are here. And we're here to make a difference. That answer your question, Dr. Ford. That's my story.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Ford. We appreciate your question. And King Smart Vital, thank you for answering this question. And by the way, I just want to congratulate each and everyone for coming here. I love you guys. Queen Jackie, thank you so much for talking about what is happening within our company and what our brand ambassadors supposed to do based upon our CEO. Thank you so much. Queen Anne-Marie, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. We appreciate you. Brother Vitel, that video, especially the lady in America, I don't understand why women will just sit there and allow a man to just beat. I don't understand, because I know I will not. Women, you guys should start reasoning. I know that this is life. I am saying it to all the women all over the globe. Don't allow a man to slap you now, because when you get married, they say that we are one, right? When you're married, you are one. So why would a man take his hands and be beating a woman? Why? Just because a woman is, is softer? But how about when women beat men? There is trouble. I don't expect any man. Again, women, do not sit in a house if a man is beating you. Do not. I will not allow my sister or anybody, my nieces or nephew, a man to take his hands and slap me, slap my knees. Try. Anyway, thank you so much for coming. Brand Ambassador Gavinet, please unmute yourself and share us your thought, your excitement, or anything you want to say about this topic. Thank you.
Yes, good evening, everyone. Great presentation, King Vitel. It was a very emotional topic to, say the least. We have approximately 85% of domestic violence victims, which are women between the ages of 18 to 34. And this has been a global heartache. And I don't think much resources are being put in place for victims of domestic violence, because most countries are not proactive. They are mostly reactive. And they do not put things in place for the victims. When they make a phone call to the police station, they go to the house, the residence, and warn the abuser. And right after they leave, the victim become abused or killed. And in some countries, the women, they are second-class citizens, like you say in Pakistan. So, a lot of these women are killed at will, and there's no repercussion. A lot of the time, nothing is done. And there's a lot of damaged families that are, walking around in society today. So I do believe that, if we are more resourceful in getting the funding and setting up the systems, as you say, I think that in Jamaica, most countries, if you set up systems and get the funding, the government will give a faster approval, because, domestic violence has weighed heavily on my heart, to say the least, because I've seen people that have been abused. And sometimes the persons in higher authorities are sometimes involved in abusive situations themselves. So they are not in any hurry to do anything to alleviate the situation. And your idea, Mr. Vitel, of setting up the system to rescue these women and putting, anonymous, safety procedures, it's a great venture, because I do know that we can save those that we can. And there's going to be a great need for counseling, especially because the counseling is of utmost importance, because these women, the family, and especially the children, if they're not counseled properly, these children can become violent perpetrators in society, because children live what they see, and they themselves will grow up to become, psychologically damaged human beings. So I know that this project will be a good one for consideration, because, someone needs to show concern for the plight of women globally. And OnPassive has come along and including a product like Obless, which is, giving hope for many people globally. And I do hope that your project will go through successfully for, to rescue these women, Dr. Vitel, because I am very passionate about the topic of domestic violence as well. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. I see I'm not seeing your name, G. I see G, right? What's your name? G?
Gervanet.
Gervanet. Thank you very much. We're here to shine a spotlight. I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. It is what it is. And for those who just want to celebrate 1 month, a March, and say, oh, it's Women's International Women's Month, and let's move on to April. And we don't hear about it anymore. No, I'm here to shine a spotlight on it for 12 months of the year, because it's happening in front of us. It's going on. Corruption in government. And Mr. Mafari says this is the correction to the corruption. And so I just want to point out to everybody that we have our work cut out for us. And we are not going to leave anyone behind, especially our women.
All right. Thank you so much, Brother Vitel. Thank you, Queen Gabinet. We appreciate your support. Brand Ambassador, our one and only Queen Jackie, please unmute yourself and share us your excitement. Are you available?
I'm somewhere. Here I am. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Awesome presentation. Awesome presentation, Anne-Marie and Vitel. I think if we shine more light, we talk about it more and bring it more to the front line, because maybe we haven't spoken a lot about it, and everything with abuse. No one knows about the abuser or the one that's being abused. I know I was in an abusive relationship. I had female friends that were being abused also. You know, we will help each other. But let me tell you, sometimes we the victims is treated, we go to seek help and we're treated like we're the ones is the abuser. And then we get the order of protection, and sometimes we become victims of that. And sometimes even dead. Some of us end up dead. So I think with it being women being able to speak up more, and through the old women, through passive, I think that will be something amazing. That's going to be helpful if more women bring it to the forefront. And I know a lot of women is already speaking up on a lot of abuse that's going on. So Vidal, you're right on point, and you're in the right area. So God bless you, and I will help you also in any which way I can. Thank you for an awesome and amazing presentation.
Thank you very much, Queen Jacqueline. This is for everybody. You know, this is not just for one country. And if you are within the sound of my voice right now as brand ambassadors, whichever country you're from, let's take action. You know, let's start to be proactive. Let's not celebrate just March. And for the other 11 months, we just cast everything under the rug and say, oh, you know, that's the way it is. No, that's not the way it should be. And when I look at these, sometimes I look at animals, the way they treat their loved ones. The way animals treat their loved ones. They're more intelligent than human beings. And for us to change the world and make it a better place, you know, we cannot leave our women behind. I mean, it's awful. It's gruesome. I'm telling you. Some of the videos that I share with you, they're worse out there to share. There's worse. If I have the time to share them with you, it would blow your mind. I'm serious. So let's get busy.
Thank you, Brother Vital. Thank you, Queen Jackie. All right. Queen Patrice. Queen Patrice.
Hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good night. Good evening. How is St. Martin today?
St. Martin was cloudy all day because we had a sort of a storm going on in the southeastern part of the island, where St. Kitts even had hail, big hailstones, but it's cleared up now, thank God. And I want to put in my 2 cents in this tonight. First of all, I would like to thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak on this platform. I'd like to shout out to Queen Jackie, who really opened my understanding to this platform that I'm here tonight. And Dr. Vittel, this is awesome. Dr. Vittel, this is awesome.
I'm not a doctor, really.
Well, in
It's all
our,
right.
yes, this is awesome. And the reason why I say this is because I would like to bring the attention to the point where everybody, most relationships that you will find all of this in, they forgot to put God first. They forgot to put God first. And anytime you put God, you don't put God first, the devil is reigning. So you will get these kind of things. So that's why I'm saying, like, this kind of organization that you are preparing, we should have people prepared to teach others where they falter, where their faults are, you know? Like, for instance, a lot of women, they do not try to sit down and talk before they get in a relationship, for them to know who the person is and to try and turn each page in their life. I did that. I did that through the guidance of the Holy Spirit. I did that with my husband, and we have 38 years right now. No abuse, nothing like that. Thank God. You know, but all of these people that are going through abusive relationships, corruption, and all of these different things in authority, it's because they didn't put God first, you know? So all I'm saying is that if a woman wants to be with someone and they don't want these kind of things, they should ask God's presence to be with them when they're talking to this person, to point out to them who they're dealing with, and things would be much better. That doesn't stop the fact that we need this organization that is coming, that is birthing. So this pregnancy that you're pregnant with right now, it will be a safe birth. So keep going, keep pushing, and somewhere along the line, I would like to enter, because in all this, you need people who can help people to find their way back in society in the right way. That's my 2 cents that I want to put in tonight. Thanks again for allowing me to speak on this platform.
Thank you, thank you, thank you very much, Queen Patrice. And thanks to Queen Jackie for bringing you. And we're glad and honored to have you as well. Brother Vittel, this is a very touchy topic that you and Queen Anne-Marie presented today. We hope you can do more and share the other videos you say you have, because it's educational. And I was following up the chat from the YouTubers online, and Patricia Parent, who is one of our brand ambassadors, listened to Anne-Marie's and your presentations, and her question is, since Queen Anne-Marie came up with that for the women and all the single mothers and this, is there a way that we can also include, this is for Queen Anne-Marie, we can also include something for the elderly who are equally single? So that's something to have in mind as you continue to work and do your.
Yes, thank you.
I did not know I was muted.
So, no, you weren't. I heard
Okay.
you. I was muted. I was trying to unmute. But thank you, Ambassador Patricia Patient, is said. for that question.
Patrice.
Patrice, thank you. We have had seniors actually that have come on board, that have come out for assistance, because some of these parents become grandparents raising kids as well. When their children are in certain situation, if they have a deep dive in life and just can't hold it together. I've seen moms, mothers, grandmothers in charge of their daughters' children, because either mentally she's not doing well, you know, going through depression, or she's just on drugs. There's so many different aspects that seniors get involved and start raising their grandkids. They've actually utilized our service. They too was a single parents growing. So sometimes it's a trend too, you know. Your parents went through that, and you went through it, and your kids are gonna come. And you know, that's why we have to be there to help mold and teach, share with others how we can have the tools to help us when we have a deep dive. Deep dive can be good, you know, as well as it can be bad, because sometimes when some people get hit, like literally get hit emotionally, mentally, they put their heart, soul, years into a relationship. For that relationship to break down, anything can falter after that. Anything. Your whole world can shatter. Everybody handle things on different level. So to her question, definitely, we have a program also that I didn't really get to mention, called Golden Connection PAL program, connecting seniors in our communities with single moms. And the reason why I created that program is because if we look around us, that grandfather and grandmother dimension, I'm looking for words tonight, but that generation of having your grandmothers, you know, going to your grandmother's house and baking cookies, those things are slowly diminishing. Why? Because I'm here in London, Ontario, my mom's in Toronto, my brother could be in Ottawa because of a job opportunity. So the family dynamic is dwindling. So in order to keep that alive, connecting seniors that need to talk and need the company to share their stories, and to have someone that a mom can go to say, you know, this is what I'm experiencing, this is my situation, what, you know, should I do? And a senior who's experienced a whirlwind of beautiful experience can share and touch that mom's world to let her know it's not as bad as you think. Someone to just sit and talk with, you know. So the Golden Connection PAL program was created to focus on the mom. So a lot of times mom, like myself in the past, when I was a single mom, oh, I need to go for a walk, or I'm gonna do roller skating again, or I wanna do ice skating. But you keep saying you wanna, and you're gonna, but you never get around to doing it. But with the Golden PAL, your PAL can hold you accountable. Remember, you said you wanted to do your resume. Let's get together on Thursday and let's go and see what we need to do to get it done. So that program was a real nice program. They're asking about it again to bring it back, because that is just focusing on the mothers. That's it. We go, you know, it's about dragging. And it's good for seniors because they get out of their house and they're breaking the isolation. They're not, you know, being a burden to their children, because they can give back to the community. So yes, seniors are active in the community, and they are strong activists in the community.
Thank you, Queen Anne Marie. And you're right. I think I messed up a little bit in the beginning. Yes, the for the live YouTube chat, that question about connecting seniors who were single with others was from Patricia Parent.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, so you were
Okay.
absolutely right about that. And because there's what you just said, connecting seniors, single seniors, especially the female who can become grandmothers to the single mothers, and they become grandmothers to those children, is very, very good. From my personal experience, growing up in a family of large 14 children and seeing my grandmother, I used to think my mom was my sister and my grandmother was my mom, because I spent more time with my grandmother than I did with my mom. So that that generational connection is very relevant in our lives.
Oh, yes.
In the lives of the children, of the single mothers, because they see that there's somebody who loves them besides their immediate mom. So if, as you're saying, we're just hoping that, you know, the enthusiasm you have now with Brother Vitel's continues as ONPASSIVE is growing and moving into the next phase. So all these senior citizens here can become grandmothers to all the single mothers on the platform, because there definitely are quite a lot of them. So thank you so much to both of you for that outstanding presentation that you did today. It's quite an emotional. You can see everyone is just like, wow, did that really come from people, humans? And the answer is yes. And thank you, Queen Jackie, for keeping our minds prepared to receive what Queen Anne-Marie and Brother Vital shared with us tonight. At this stage, I'm going to pass it over to Dr. Derek, so we can move to the next stage, which is our after party program on this forum. Queen Anne-Marie, are you ready for that?
Okay, Queen Debbie.
Yes.
Before you transition to Dr. Derek, I just
I
want
was
to say,
going to say you two have the last word, but I
Yes.
wanted Dr. Derek to prepare. Yes, Brother Vital, proceed, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I just want to say thank you to Anne-Marie for stepping up. We this was the last minute thing. A very short notification, and she was able to join me. My notification also was, I was short, but I spent some time working on it. So you find some hitches there, is because sometimes when you're dealing with videos, that's the way it goes. I want to say thank you to Anne-Marie for we joined at the hip right now, my girl. And for the first time we met on Oblast, I was very touched by your presentation.
Thank you.
And I want to say that you have, with your knowledge and your expertise, we can go far away to make a difference, to make a big difference. And thanks, you're all the way up there in London, Ontario. I'm all the way down here in Florida, but you see how communication, and just imagine when we have all connect, how better it's going to be.
Oh, yes.
Yes, so I thank you very much for accepting a very short notice to join me on this call tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Vital. No apologies. You delivered. That's what matters. Because on this forum, what does Dr. Derek say? We were born ready. He was born ready. So if you were not born ready, you would not have been able to deliver on last minute, right? But you did. So, all right. Oh, okay. I'm not going to transition to Dr. Derek for after party yet until Brother Mamadou is done speaking. Hello, Brother Mamadou. I know you were online as well. Welcome. Good
evening. Dr. Debbie, Sister Debbie, good evening. Good evening to you all, Dr. Derek, Dr. Benny, and Brother Vital. Sorry for coming a little bit late. I was busy working, but at the same time listening to all the presentation. You know, I had Brother Vital mention my country, Sierra Leone. Yes, indeed. This domestic violence and child abuse is rampant in that country. I don't know, maybe some of the men think they are the domineering in any relationship, whether marital relationship or friendship relationship, like girlfriend and boyfriend, you know? So I'm just so happy for him to come up with such a project, and I just want to throw myself to him that I am ready to take up this challenge, because it is something that is very, very rampant in my country. Although the government is trying, they've introduced a program that is headed by the police, but yet still, this domestic violence and child abuse is still going on in that place. So I just want to raise this and in support of this project, and also to thank you all for allowing us to express ourselves and continue to educate us. Thank you very much. God bless you. Sorry for being late. I'm still at work. I just ran here to say few words.
Yeah. Thank you, Brother Mamadou. You are not late. You were online in the earlier part of it. And I know that I did chat with you online as well on the YouTube channel. So you're always with us. Thank you for, no, this is what is called active participation. We appreciate you and we thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you very much. God
You're
bless.
welcome too. Okay, Dr. Derek, over to you, sir. Dr. Derek, the microphone is yours. We're moving to the next stage, after party. Over to you.